Welcome to LegendBTV, where legends go for music discussion, comedy, and more. And today we are going to be reviewing the new album from Camila Cabello called Camila. The ex-Fifth Harmony single, now solo artist, finally drops her debut album. Now, going into this record, I really honestly didn't know what to expect. The singles leading up to this thing were really a mirage of different styles. First, there was a team up with Shawn Mendes, and that song was alright. Honestly, they didn't really leave much of an impression on me, but I'm like, hey, it's got a little bit of punch to it. It's kind of catchy, so okay. Following that, there was the Machine Gun Kelly Bad Things song, which, despite liking it at first, I found it to be awfully tedious and boring after a while, like gratingly boring after a while. Then there's the song similar to Cheap Thrills sounding, Crying in the Club, which, yeah, underperformed tremendously, and I'm just like, well, I kind of understand why. First of all, it's kind of a ripoff, and two, it's just pretty forgettable. I honestly didn't care for that song. Then we get the surprisingly solid Havana featuring Young Thug, which is this really interesting, dark piece of piano pop with a hip-hop appeal to it. And in general, I really enjoyed it. The harmonizing is pretty decent here. The trumpet solo adds a touch of character and memorability to the track. And in general, I just thought it was solid. So when I saw the two previous mediocre singles were scrapped from this album, I was like, hey, maybe there'd be some quality here. So was I right? Honestly, that's a little hard to say, but let's get into the record though. First of all, let's start off with Camila. She's been widely known and regarded as probably the weakest singer in Fifth Harmony. And in my opinion, yeah, she did have her low points, but she also had her high points too. And honestly, I thought that she was the one that really popped out at me as like the main star of the group and the main, like the big star, like pretty much the Harry Styles of Fifth Harmony, basically. And I was like, well, you know, if anyone was going to go solo, of course, Lauren Jenigwai was going solo, but at the same time, her work hasn't really attracted any radio momentum or anything like that. She had that song with Steve Aoki and that flopped hard, but, you know, if anybody was doing it, I mean, I'd say Camila would hopefully bring some personality to the table with this record. And while this album does sound auto-tuned, at her best moments, Camila really shines here. She does a really great job on some of these ballads like Consequences, for example, where she hits like beautiful notes against this really crisp piano, and it sounds great. Whereas other songs in here are more focused on production, like Havana, for an example. The performances here really steal the record for me. The production here is nice, don't get me wrong, there's nothing bad about it. It's just, for me, I feel like the performances are really what would make or break a record like this, because the production, it's really just kind of simple. It's overall pretty basic, but Camila really excavates that and really brings it up into something much more than that through her deep, meaningful, emotional performances here. Like, her performances are really what this record needs for it to click with me, and honestly, it does for the most part. The harmonizing is also great at the ends of some of these tracks as well, where it really builds up. And let's talk about these lyrics. The lyrics, they're really just mainly about love and relationships, and honestly, they don't really bring much of anything new to the table or anything really that colorful or vivid, aside from a few lines that stick out. They're mainly just pretty much like sexual lines. There's a nod to Bad Things where she says, all of the things I want to do to you are infinite. Sort of like how she says on Bad Things, and I believe that's in the track Into You. But I really get a lot of deja vu from the Machine Gun Kelly song where it's like, you only knew the bad things I like. Speaking of deja vu, the track Into It has a beat structure that's really similar to Lord's Homemade Dynamite. Just listen to those tracks back to back and you're just like, oh my god, this is like almost the same beat. You know, I don't mind it though, it's still a pretty good song. It's catchy, her vocals are really nice and confident. Like, she really sells this song because she really displays a fierce, powerful performance against this song. And in general, that really works well. While I'm mentioning deja vu, I will say the beginning of Real Friends does kind of sound a little bit like Lights Down Low by Max and Nash. Just gonna point that out. Now let's get into the instrumental palette of this record. We have basically a multi-genre type of pop record here. Traces of pop, electronica, hip-hop, R&B, alternative, even some island and tropical music. Piano ballads abound as well here, like the tracks Something's Gotta Give or the aforementioned Consequences. They're both solid tracks and personally two of my favorite songs on the album. But others aside from the ballads are worth mentioning as well. Never Be the Same has probably one of the most passionate deliveries on the whole record and is honestly definitely one of the best tracks here. While people may be taken back by the high notes throughout this song in the chorus, I'm just like, I think it sounds incredibly potent, and I'm just like, wow. She sounds really good on this song, I'm just saying, I'm just like, wow. Unfortunately, some of the tracks I don't care for as much. There are a few that I'm just like, I would probably skip. Songs like the bland tropical track Inside Out, or the not bad but easily most forgettable ballad on this record, All These Years, with the kind of boxed in guitar melody that really doesn't battle to be in front of the mix or really evolve, if that makes any sense. just kind of stays really just kind of average. But the good ones in general do cancel out the more mediocre ones, and overall I will say I enjoy this record. I consider it good. Overall I would say a 7 out of 10 seems appropriate for this. Anyways, I would say I recommend it. Go check it out if you're curious. Anyways, subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed. I'm LegendBTV. Thank you all for watching my content. Like, comment, share your thoughts on the album down below. Comment any albums you may want to see here. I may review them, may not, I don't know. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Share this channel. Let's grow. Thank you so much.